Okay, welcome back. We're going to talk more about if statements and different ways you can use them in your code. So I said in the previous video, this is part 2 of if statements. I said in part 1 of if statements that you can compare for truthity and falsity of two expressions in one if statement line. So for example, if I wanted to say if num1 is greater than num2, and if num2, well actually let's do 3 because 3 is easy. So let's make another variable, num3, and the user is going to put in the value for this second integer. We'll get the integer there, a third digit. Okay, now that we have three numbers, we could say now if num1 is greater than num2 and if num1 is greater than num3. How do we do that? We do that with the double ampersand sign. You know, in writing in English this does mean and. You know, we read it as and. In computer science, two of them means and as well. So we want to compare if num1 is greater than num2 and if num1 is greater than num3, then execute this statement that says num1 is greater than num2, end line, cout, and, or no, we did a new line, so and num1 is greater than num3. There. And we could do that for all of these and would make the if statement really big and long. And if num1 is less than num2, then, you know, etc., etc. I don't want to do that for all of these because that's kind of a waste of time. But you not only can you do and, you can do or. And to do or, it's these basically the absolute value symbols is the vertical lines. It's not capital L, it's not L, it's not capital I. It's just the vertical lines. I don't know really what their names are, but if you look on your keyboard right above your enter or return key, you should have the backslash key, and if you hold shift and click your backslash key, you get the vertical bar, and that means or. So what this line of code says is if this expression num1 is greater than num2 is true, execute this. Or if that's not true but this is true, then we still execute the expression because it's an or. If this is true and this is false, execute it. If this is true and this is false, execute it. If basically with an or statement, if anything is true, execute it. Execute this block of code. In order for you to just skip over this if statement, to skip over this block of code, both statements would have to be false. Statement 1 is not true, statement 2 is not true. With the double ampersands, with the and function, both statements have to be true in order for you to execute this block of code. Just one can't be true, the other one just can't be true. Both of them are false, then the whole thing is definitely false. So and is really restrictive, or it's kind of like a whore. You know, whatever works, it's going for it. So or's the whore, and is restrictive. I just thought of that. That was good. Anyways, so there's that with if statements, and then I think I'm going to end the video right here because this is really all I want else to show you. But next we're going to do more with if statements, and we're going to talk about nested if statements, and those can be really helpful sometimes.